Testing 1, 2, 3. Wildcat baseball coming up in 5 minutes. Wildcat baseball coming up in 5 minutes. Wildcat baseball coming up in 3 minutes. 3 minutes till Wildcat baseball. Hello and welcome into Bobby Hopkins Park. Alex Myers with you today along with John Ulrich, former Wildcat baseball player, Jordan Ratledge, former Wildcat baseball player, joining us today, doing some help for us today as well. It'll be the Wildcats versus the Maryville Rebels today for the region championship game. If Oak Ridge wins this, they're region champions. They play no more today, and they automatically get a host spot here at Bobby Hopkins Park in the sectional, or the sub-state as it's better known as. If Oak Ridge were to fall and Maryville becomes victorious in this game, Oak Ridge is still alive, but they would play again at 5 p.m. here at Bobby Hopkins Park today with their season on the line. If they won that game, they'd go on and have to go on the road for sectionals. If they lost that game, they would be done. So a lot riding on this. It's not a do or die, but it is in terms of a championship being on the line. John Ulrich, I bring you in now. You've got some history. These two teams have played a lot of baseball the last few years. This year they've played 3 times. You've got more on this series.
Yeah, so Alex, has been a great rivalry all year long, and for the past few years as well. The Oak Ridge Wildcats are 1-2 against the Maryville Rebels so far this season. And this is looking like it's going to be a good game this afternoon.
Batting second and behind the plate, number 3, Cohen Beyblade.
As we get the lineups for Maryville, we're going to take a 60-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have more.
Batting first, the season record, the center fielder, number 14.
As we welcome you back to Bobby Hopkins Park, starting lineup for Oak Ridge, taking his place in center field, the new all-time hits leader in Oak Ridge baseball history, number 4, Warren East. The sophomore did that last night in the win over Farragut. Parker Free will bat second. He is the catcher behind the plate. Batting third, as we have the same order as we did last night, Mikey Teasley will be in the 3-hole. He will be on the bump today. Next up, number 23, Cam Welch, also known as Cheeto. He was on the bump last night, had a phenomenal game, gave up 2 runs in the victory over Farragut. He will be on first today. Again, number 23, Camden Welch. Next up, the designated hitter, number 9, Peyton Witter, followed by number 10, Whit Reniger, playing second base. Batting 6th, playing right field, number 12, Richie Ferreira. I said right field. He's playing left field, excuse me. Nope, it is right field. Next up, shortstop, number 1, Noah Wood. Following him will be number 22 in the 8-hole, Cy Stevens. He'll be playing left field as we start this top of the first. And then the 9-hole hitter will be number 5, third baseman Carson Fagan. So Carson Fagan slides into third in Mikey Teasley's absence as he's pitching. And Cheeto, not pitching today, will move back to first. Peyton Witter will be the designated hitter. John Ulrich, I'm going to test something real quick. So in the meantime, as we get ready for the national anthem, we'll let you hear that. We'll be back in just 1 moment.
At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars the rule the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A terrific rendition of the national anthem as we welcome you into our broadcast here live from Bobby Hopkins Park. It'll be Oak Ridge hosting Maryville for the region championship. Again, we'll recap things here. The winner of this game wins the region championship, is done for the weekend, and they will host a sectional with a shot to go to state. The loser is still alive, but they'll have to wait until 5 o'clock tonight to play here at Bobby Hopkins Park. The loser of that following game goes home. The winner makes sectionals with the state tournament shot still alive. However, they'll have to go on the road to do that. As Mikey Teasley takes the mound and starts to warm up, we're going to take a 60-second timeout. When we come back, we'll be live and have baseball from Bobby Hopkins Park. As we welcome you in, we want to thank David Clary. He was our sponsor today. Obviously, he's not with us in person. He's executively producing tonight's game. He was the executive producer last night's game. He's letting John and I have a chance at a couple of big games here, so we appreciate him not only for giving us that opportunity, for setting everything up behind the scenes, executive producing, and also for sponsoring, because we do have to pay for these tournament games. So it's Mikey Teasley as the first batter is in there. First pitch called for strike one. Second pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed, and it's 0-2 as Mikey Teasley quickly ahead in this count. Ben Dockery, the left fielder, the leadoff man for Maryville. Strike three, throw 3 pitches in. The first batter takes a walk back to the dugout. Nice start for Mikey Teasley, the junior for the Wildcats. As next up for the Rebels, Cohen Babele.
Yeah, Mikey's looks like he's got a really good breaking ball today, flashing that one 76 to 78 on his breaking ball so far this game.
Fouled off on the first pitch. You know, I was watching I wasn't on the broadcast, but I was watching last week, earlier in the week, I guess probably Monday or Tuesday, Mikey's last appearance, and his fastball, the highest I saw it hit was 93. And the slowest I saw his curveball sitting at was 74. A 19-mile-per-hour difference between those two pitches is incredibly difficult for a high school at any level, but especially at the high school level.
Yeah, when you just have flat-out stuff like he does, it is really hard to hit. He's got a breaking ball that's northward of 3,000 RPMs, which for those of you who don't know, major league breaking balls usually spin that much. And his fastball is usually sitting in the low 90s. I believe this season he's topped out at 97, which is really impressive. So this is going to be a fun game to watch with Teasley on the bump.
He strikes out the second batter, as he did the first batter. And a couple pitches ago, I glanced over, and it was 73 miles per hour, and you said he topped out at 97. That's a lot of range for the junior. First pitch of this count is a little inside for ball one. Maryville's 3-hole hitter steps up to the plate. Strike fastball right down Main Street, evens the count at 1-1. Third pitch fouled off, hits the roof of the Maryville dugout. Maryville, if you haven't been to Bobby Hopkins Park, Maryville is on the right side, down the right field line is their dugout. Oak Ridge is down the left field line, so most of the fans for Maryville are that way as well. Mikey tried to sneak a ball in on the outside corner. The umpire did not give it to him, so 2-2 is the count. Here's the payoff pitch. It's hit softly to the shortstop. He's going to make a routine play, and the inning is over. He throws. Noah Woods throw to first. To Cheeto is secured, and it's 3 up, 3 down for the Rebels. What'd you like most out of that half inning from the Mikey start?
Yeah, Mikey's command looked amazing in that first inning. His stuff looks good. He looks sharp on the mound. It's going to be a fun day to watch for Mikey Teasley.
We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Stepping in first for Oak Ridge, the center fielder.
Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Park. Alex Myers, John Ulrich with you. David Clary, our executive producer and sponsor for today's region championship game, where the Maryville Rebels have traveled to Oak Ridge to take on the Wildcats. Coach Free's team had a clean first inning. It was 3 up, 3 down for Mikey Teasley, the junior Tennessee baseball commit, is the pitcher today. And now here in the bottom of the first, they'll have their first opportunity to hit. It will be Warren East, number 4, the center fielder for Oak Ridge. A lot's talked about his hitting, and we'll mention that. He is a great center fielder, though. His range, we talked about that yesterday. He's got a great glove, rangy player. But yesterday at the plate, he broke the all-time single-season hits record with 55, and he's looking to add to that here I was going to say this afternoon. I guess it's technically this morning still. After a brief delay, there was an equipment issue with the catcher who struck out last inning for Maryville, I'll mention. Peyton Witter is now ready to go and step into the box. So see if Oak Ridge's leadoff hitter, who has reached base on a hit 55 times this year, let's see if he can make it 56. Maryville pitcher eyes him down from the stretch. Here he is. Witter thought about bunting. He pulled it back, but it was right down Broadway. And that's strike 1. And that one right there was right down the turnpike. We got Broadway for Maryville, the turnpike for Oak Ridge. And just like that, it's an 0-2 count for Oak Ridge's leadoff man. Curveball in there. Contact's made. It's a slow roller to the third. It should have been a routine play, but the ball was bobbled, and Warren East reaches base.
Batting now for Oak Ridge.
Several of those last night hurt Farragut, where Oak Ridge hit the ball, and you would think it would have been fielded 8-9 times out of 10, and they just weren't able to make fairly routine plays. That one is a ball that, again, probably 80-90% of the time that third baseman's going to make, but it took a rough hop at the end and wasn't able to field it, so Warren East reaches first. Oak Ridge's leadoff hitter now taking a big stretch, a sizable lead from first base as Parker Free, the number 2 hole hitter, the catcher, steps into the mound. He's going to show bunt, foul tip, and that'll be strike 1. Long pause between pitches here as Parker Free is waiting on signals from Coach Free down the third base line. He's communicated, now he steps back into the box. Pitcher takes a glance to his left, over his left shoulder, as he's a right-handed pitcher. Checks the man on first. Nods his head a couple times. Runner goes. Their throw is going to be way delayed, and he's got no shot. So just like he did 2 to 3 times last night, Warren East reaches second, and he really could have gone in standing up that time. He's so speedy. The pitchers know he's going to run, but it's just so hard to stop him.
Yeah, he's a lot like a lot of Oak Ridge Wildcats remember Caden Black. He's a lot like Caden Black. Everybody in the building knows he's going to run, but he's still going to steal that base. He's so fast.
So after a brief pause, Warren had to adjust his uniform momentarily. The umpires called timeout. Now we're ready to go. 1 ball, 1 strike for Parker Free. Runner's going to take third easily. The ball's going to be overthrown. And Warren East is going to trot into home, and just like that, an error on third lets him reach base. 2 pitches later, he's home. Parker Free, makes his job a lot easier if he doesn't even have to put the ball in play, and you've already got a runner coming home.
Yeah, just like how we saw, just like what we saw yesterday in the Farragut ball game. These fast Wildcat runners are really putting the pressure on the opposing defense, and so far the pressure is not boded well for the opposing teams.
Speaking of pressure, Maryville coaching staff putting some pressure on the guy behind the plate. There was some sort of discrepancy, and I'm not sure what they thought was going on. I'm not sure if they called a ball a strike or a strike a ball, or exactly what they were upset about. I couldn't quite hear him. Jordan Ratledge, did you hear it? He said he squared the bunt. So, okay, so they called it a ball, and Maryville thought it should have been a strike. Thank you for that. They appealed the first, and after that last pitch, it's 2-2. Parker sends that one into deep center field, but it's not going to be deep enough. It's going to be caught just on the home plate side of the warning track. And there's out number 1. So to the plate comes Oak Ridge's pitcher and 3-hole hitter, number 3, junior Mikey Teasley. Mikey's got power. He's another guy. If he gets on base, he's a danger on the base paths. Teasley watches the first one catch the outside corner. Nice pitch there, good location, and it's 0-1 for the junior as he steps back into the box. Second pitch is swung on, and it's going to be missed by the third baseman. Teasley's got around first. He's got a shot at it. The left fielder can't get it in time, and he's going to stand up walking into second base. So that's the problem for Maryville. 2 plays that probably should be made more times than not. And the third baseman, unfortunately, I'll give him credit. It's just taken a couple of bad hops, and it's a tough play to make. So Mikey reaches second. And for Oak Ridge, in to run will be Andy Hudson. We saw Andy Hudson cross the plate last night as a pinch runner. He'll try to do the same thing as the 4-hole hitter, number 23, Camden Welch, steps into the plate for the Wildcats. They've got a strike up on the board, but it should be 0-0 as a fresh count as Welch steps into the plate with 1 man out. Pitch wild and outside for ball 1. They do fix that. There's no strikes. That's the first pitch of the count. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out with a runner. Andy Hudson on second after Mikey Teasley had a stand-up double. John Ulrich, in my ears, says he needs to try to go the other way, the left-handed hitter. And they're playing him to pull, and he pulled that one foul. He's shaking his head. I think he understands how he missed that one. And that'll be the first strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, man on second. Oak Ridge taking a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. As Warren East reached first, stole second, stole third. The throw to third on that steal attempt was high, went into left field, and he trotted in for the only run of the ball game so far. Way high and outside, and that's 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitcher is Max Coleman for Maryville. Shown some good stuff, but the last couple of pitches he's been a little wild. Andy Hudson a threat to steal. He checks him. Camden's going to pull this one to the right. It's going to be a hard hopper, but a nice play by the first baseman. Corrals that one and tags the base. So the runner does move from second to third, and Andy Hudson is itching to cross home plate just as he did in that 6th inning last night.
Designated hitter.
So number 9, Peyton Witter, will be in the 5 spot for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the first. A base hit would score Andy Hudson and give Oak Ridge a little more breathing room, trying to give Oak Ridge a 2-0 lead. And we're going to have a momentary pause here as Maryville's pitching coach is going to visit the mound, see if they got a scout right here, and Coach Free is going to go talk with Peyton Witter. We'll talk with John Ulrich. What conversation is Coach Free? Obviously, we know the conversation, what it looks like from Maryville's standpoint. They're trying to talk this pitcher into not letting any more damage go in this first inning. But what are you talking about right now with Coach Free if you're Peyton Witter?
Well, I just saw Coach Free made a gesture towards center field, so I'm thinking he's telling Peyton to keep it simple. Low line drives up the middle of the field to try to drive in Andy Hudson from third.
I know he'd take that. I'd take that. I think everyone in Cardinal and Gray will take that here. Another really good crowd. Not quite as many as last night, but another really good crowd here this morning at Bobby Hopkins Park. Seeing their Wildcats up 1-0, trying to add another as Andy Hudson is the pinch runner for Mikey Teasley on third. Peyton Witter, right-handed batter, steps into the box. Here's Coleman delivering the pitch. Was it a ball or a strike? It was a ball. Pretty close. It was a little high. It was a little high, but it wasn't much high. The umpire wasn't very demonstrative with his call. Here's another one a little bit lower that time, too low. So it's 2 balls, no strikes. On deck would be Richie Ferreira if Peyton Witter can reach first. Richie, a flair for the dramatic, I'm sure would love a shot to get another run in for the Wildcats. This breaking ball is 59 miles an hour on the radar gun, 59 miles an hour, but he slides it in for a strike, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, a runner on third for Peyton Witter and the Wildcats. Witter eyes this pitch, lines it down the first baseline, and he's going to get it through to the right field. Andy Hudson scores. Witter will round first, think better of it, and quickly trot back to the right or to the first base. Nice hit. You talked about keeping it simple. Nothing fancy there. Just hit it in a spot where the defense couldn't get to it, and it scores a run for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it was a great piece of hitting right there. Went the other way, just out of the reach of the first baseman, and it drives in Andy.
Richie Ferreira. There's not a runner in scoring position, but there is a runner on first, and Peyton Witter with the right-handed Richie Ferreira, a right fielder. Excuse me, left-handed Richie Ferreira. He is the right fielder, though. I've messed that up a couple of times now. He steps into the box. First pitch, called for strike 1. Two outs, runner on first for Richie as he faces an 0-1 count. Coleman eyes the first base runner. He's going to go home with this one, a curveball in for strike 2. Did he call time? Okay, so before the pitch, thank you guys. He threw the pitch, but the umpire had already called time, so it would have been a strike, but instead it's 0-1 as that pitch did not count. Small lead for Witter at first. Pitcher will go home with it, throws it down the middle, and it's going to be foul tip, but that will be strike 2 as Richie tried to put a bat on a ball there. Couldn't quite square it up. 0-2 the count. Coleman in a good spot here, but he's given up 2 runs here in this opening inning. Richie Ferreira trying to keep this inning going for Oak Ridge. Ball inside, it's going to get past the catcher, and Witter will easily take second base. So now a runner is in scoring position for Richie. Pitcher still in an okay position, though. Just 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. As Ferreira regrips the bat, does his routine, steps back into the box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. Ball down the middle is going to be hit. It's going to be a looping fly ball into shallow left field, and it's going to be caught. And that ends the bottom of the first inning with the Wildcats taking an early 2-0 lead over the Rebels from Maryville. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the top of the second inning. So to start this top half of the second inning for Maryville, stepping into the box will be number 2, Kane Baber. Pitch number 1 in there on the far corner for a strike for Teasley. It was 3 up, 3 down in the first inning for Mikey. And this one's going to be roped into right field, and that's going to easily be a double. Richie Ferreira running for it, grabs it, and Baber is going to stop at second. A nice hustle by Richie to get over there and stop that from becoming a triple, because Richie was playing fairly far over towards center field, and that was just the right place to hit that ball. Great hit by Baber as the designated hitter steps to the plate for the Rebels. It is Trip Everett, the designated hitter. And, Parker threw it back to second to try to pick off the runner after that pitch, but there was nobody there. Umpire calls a ball, and I'm not sure what he was looking at, nor are the other Oak Ridge fans here in the stands. Teasley eyes the second base runner. Batter shows bunt, and it's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs with a runner on second as Maryville trails Oak Ridge 2-0 here in the top of the second. Trip Everett, the batter for the Rebels. Shows bunt again. That pitch missed high. 2-1 count. Runner early showing a bunt. And Mikey ran that in on him, and it's going to count as a strike as it hit the barrel of the bat, and he was trying to pull it back because it would have been a ball, but he couldn't get his bat back in time. So it's 2-2 the count. Just missed high. Ball 3, full count here. Oak Ridge fans not happy about that one. There's a couple of close ones that have gone Maryville's way in this at-bat. The Maryville fans starting to cheer. Applause coming from the Maryville dugout. Strike 3. 90 mile an hour.
Mike, what day is it, Mike?
90 miles an hour in there for strike 3. Low and away.
Stepping in now for Maryville, the first.
And it gets him.
Number 17.
It's a nice payoff pitch. As a former pitcher yourself, how big was that pitch right there?
That was huge. Get that first out of the inning, strike him out. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner from Mikey. Just absolutely painted.
The next batter steps in. First pitch goes down as a strike. Still 1 away with the runner on second. Curveball in there for strike 2. So Mikey up 0-2 quickly in this count. Trying to record the second out. Calm the danger here a little bit as Maryville's first batter got on base with a double. Batter thought that pitch was going to go inside. It didn't. It strayed right down the turnpike, and it was 3 pitches, 3 strikes. He's out, and the next batter is coming up for Maryville.
Yeah, I think he was looking for something other than the fastball there. He dropped that 0-1 curveball in there for to get the second strike. I think he was looking for it again, not the fastball.
I want to ask you something between innings, or at least between batters here in a moment. Well, I'll just ask you right now. Its first pitch is called ball. At this level, with a guy like Mikey and a veteran back there behind the plate that you trust, like Parker Free, who's calling these pitches? Is it Parker? Is it one of the coaches? Says ball 2's in there for a strike. Count even at 1-1.
We interviewed our guy calling balls and strikes the other day, our pitching coach, Jeremiah Ball. He's one of the best pitching strategists in Tennessee, and if he knows what's working with the pitcher, then it's game over. He knows everything to call on the right counts. It should be a fun game to watch with him calling the pitches today.
Thank you, John Ulrich. pitched for the Wildcats team that went to state last year. Here's a ball lined into right. It's going to score the man from second as Richie Ferreira. There's no play to be made, and he's going to fire it into Cheeto at first. And Maryville has cut the lead in half. It was 2-0. Now it's 2-1 as the Rebels get a little payoff there. Mikey and Cheeto having a brief conversation.
Number 16, A.J. Moan.
As Parker tosses the ball back in to Mikey. Thought Oak Ridge was going to be able to get out of that inning after some early traffic, but unfortunately for the Wildcats, just a nice piece of hitting there by the Maryville batter. Mikey letting some anger out on that one, throws that one in hard and low. It's going to be ball one. Runner on first, Maryville trailing with 2 outs, 2-1. Good pitch in there for strike one. It's 1-1 the count. Third pitch in there a little bit high for ball 2. 2-1 the count. 2 outs, runner on first. Fastball at 87, a little bit low, but gets the batter to swing, and it's 2s across the board. A little low in there for ball 3. It's full count. Mikey trying to get out of this inning, only allowing 1 run after the leadoff man reached with a double. Crowd starting to pause. Here's the payoff pitch for Teasley. Runner goes. Wow, I'm not sure where that one was. He calls it a ball. John, where did that one miss?
Stepping in now.
I don't know, Alex. That one looked like it caught the corner to me, but
Campbell.
I can't tell you where that one missed for sure.
A couple Oak Ridge players started to head towards the dugout, but they'll have to remain out there as that was ball 4. So runners on first and second with 2 away here in the bottom of the second for Teasley as he's trying to get out of a little bit of a jam here. Heater in for strike 1. Hitting for Maryville now is number 13, Brenton Campbell, the center fielder. He's the last hitter in the order, and then it will go back to the top of the order as Ben Dockery is on deck. Mikey'd like to close this inning out without giving him a shot. Teasley delivers, and it's going to be fouled off, and it's 0-2 quickly. So now Mikey is in total command of this pitch count. What are you throwing here? If you know Mikey, what do you think he's throwing?
I think he's going to go to his really good curveball right here.
We'll see. Mikey eyes the runner at second, goes home. He does throw the curve. Didn't get quite enough break on that he wanted. So it'll be in there for ball 1. Still ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes here with 2 out and 2 runners on base. First and second are the runners for Maryville. Teasley eyes the second base runner, throws it in there. Good pitch, and it's going to be lined to left field. 1 run's going to score, and the runners will advance. It's a double for the 9-hole hitter. And Maryville has tied this ball game up. They've got runners on second and third with 2 outs here. So there were 2 outs with no runs, and now Maryville starting to feel a little bit. Unfortunately for Oak Ridge, now you're facing the top of the order. You hear one of the Maryville fans say it's a new ball game. It's totally tied up now. 2 apiece here in the top of the second. Mikey Teasley trying to work out of a jam here. Runners on second and third with 2 outs as the leadoff hitter is back up to the plate. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Second pitch, high and inside, and the count is even at 1-1. Third pitch is breaking ball, a little bit outside. Two and one the count with 2 outs. Teasley delivers in there for strike 2. 2's across the board here. 2 men on second and third as the leadoff hitter for Maryville is trying to take the lead here with the single. Swing and a miss, and that'll do the inning. So Mikey Teasley, there's a little bit of trouble there. It gave up a couple runs, but thankfully the offense was on in the first inning and gave him a little bit of a cushion. And so now we go to the bottom of the second.
And evens up the score 2-2.
At 2-2. So Maryville and Oak Ridge playing here in the Secret City for a region championship. We'll be back in 60 seconds as Oak Ridge comes to bat. Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Park. Bottom of the second inning. Some fireworks early. Oak Ridge scored 2 in the bottom of the first. Maryville responds with 2 of their own in the top of the second. So now to the bottom of the second we go. Let's see if Noah Wood can get the Wildcats started. He does. Quick liner into right field, and he is going to be held at first. But a leadoff single for the Oak Ridge hitter. Next up, Cy Stevens, number 22, left fielder. He was active in that last inning from left field. Oak Ridge having success early on this Maryville pitcher.
Yeah, the bats look hot today, Alex.
The bats are hot. The weather is not. A little bit of a chill in the air. Breeze. Probably low 60s, I'm guessing. Not a bad day. Looping curveball in at 61, misses high, and it's 1 ball, no strikes for Coleman, who's on the mound again here in the second for the Rebels. They did have a mound visit in the first to try to calm things down. It didn't work, but they were able to get out after Oak Ridge scored 2. Pitch a little bit outside there, and it's 2-0 quickly, a hitter's count here for Cy Stevens. Cy, a guy who, a baseball player, looks like he could start at linebacker for most high school football teams. He's you could tell that Coach Free has these guys in the weight room.
Nope.
Pitch over to first, throw over to first, I should say, was not in time to get the runner, Wood. Nice take there on pitch number 3, and he's seen 3 balls, no strikes. So we'll see the strategy here for Cy Stevens, who shows bunt early. Let's see if he pulls it back. No, yes he will. Runner at first is Wood. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4, and he takes his base. So quickly, 2 runners on for the Wildcats here at the bottom of the second. So no outs, 2 runners on for Oak Ridge. Carson Fagan steps into the box, pitch back to second, doesn't catch the runner. So 2 on for him. If he can reach the top of the order, is in the on-deck circle. That's Warren East, the all-time hits leader for a single season with 55 as of last night. He reached base in the first inning to start things off here at Bobby Hopkins Park. Pitcher really concerned about that runner on second base. He steps off the mound after throwing back to second. Still hasn't thrown a pitch to Carson Fagan here. Fagan patiently awaiting. As Fagan shows bunt, fouls it off behind the catcher, and he's down on the count 0-1. We mentioned Cy Stevens a moment ago, David Clary. We mentioned him sponsoring this game and is our executive producer yesterday and today. He, being Cy Stevens, is headed to Walter State. Really good baseball program throughout the years at Walter State. There's I'm not sure. I thought it was a pass ball.
Cy Stevens advance.
So we've got some confusion here. Maryville says it was a foul ball. As an Oak Ridge fan, I agree, because when Maryville called the umpire over to say that's a foul, the runner shouldn't have advanced, the umpire's response was it hit the bat, to which the Maryville fans responded, that's a foul. I'm not sure what happened, but the runners advance. I'm guessing maybe the ball didn't hit the bat. I'm not sure what happened, but the payoff pitch there was a swung on and miss, for Carson Fagan. So his at bat, although he strikes out, was a productive one because somehow during that confusion, 2 runners advanced to second and third. So with 1 out, the top of the order is back up for Oak Ridge. Warren East, right-handed hitter, eyes the defense and their alignment, and now he's waiting the first pitch. He's going to ground one left past the third baseman. Wood will score. They're going to send Cy Stevens. Stevens is going to score standing up, and it's a first pitch double from Oak Ridge's single season record holder for hits. So he saw 1 pitch. That was enough for him. He swings on it, hits it just past the third baseman, and he's got a stand-up double here as Oak Ridge retakes the lead, a 4-2 now in the bottom of the second. So Parker Free, the junior catcher for the Wildcats, one of the veterans on this team. Not many seniors on this team, but a whole lot of talented sophomores and juniors, Parker Free being one of them. 2-spot hitter with a man on second and only 1 out. Runner on second is going to take third as something you don't see very often there. The runner steals, I'm not sure I've ever seen that. Runner steals second to third. Parker stands still as a statue because he's not taking the swing at the pitch. But when the catcher went to try to throw him, he wasn't going to get him. But the ball actually threw the ball into the bat of Parker Free.
Yeah, and the batter, he's stayed in the batter's box. He's not required to get out of the way as long as he's in the batter's box.
And it wasn't like he moved. I mean, he just stood there and catcher threw it in there. So runner at third with 1 out. 2 balls, no strikes is the count here. 2 pitches in for Coleman as he's trying to work himself out of this inning. Coleman checks the runner on third. He's going to go home with it, but it's a ball. 3-0 the count here. In a situation you don't want to get yourself in is 2 runners on with Mikey Teasley coming up. But that may be the situation because Parker Free is going to be patient here, I would think, unless he sees one right down the middle that he likes. Here's the pitch. And there it was down the middle, but Parker, again, showing some patience there, forced him to throw one. And it's 3-1 the count. One out with a runner on third. It's Warren East, the man on third, taking a sizable lead. A pass ball would score him, no question. Looping curveball hangs in there at 59 miles per hour. And not surprisingly, Parker was a little ahead of that one. But he does make contact. It's a foul. And it's a full count now. So from 0-2 to 3-2, pitcher has worked his way back. An opportunity for an out right here. Parker Free at the plate. He's going to send one sailing. It'll go pretty routine fly ball into center field, but it will score Warren East standing up. So nice at bat there for Parker Free. Forces the pitcher to throw 6 or 7 pitches and drives in a run. Warren East crosses the plate, and Oak Ridge has their biggest lead of the ball game. It's 5-2 here in the bottom of the second, with Mikey Teasley coming to the plate with the bases cleared.
Yeah, it's a good job by Parker, just getting the job done, getting that runner in from third, getting that extra insurance run.
And Mikey has a big smile on his face, I'm sure because he's hitting, but I'm sure also because in the back of his mind as the pitcher, he knows, I got a little cushion to play with here. Coleman eyes Teasley from the stretch. Here's the first pitch. Curveball, doesn't get enough break on it, and it's high. 4-1. Second pitch right down the middle. Mikey's going to swing at it, but it hits him right at the shortstop. Throw nearly pulls the first baseman off the bag, but not quite. Nice play there by the first baseman. Good stretch by him. And Teasley will be out at first. So that's the top. That's the bottom of the second inning. They score 3 and lead it 5-3 here at Bobby Hopkins Park in the region championship game. Teasley will take the bump once again as we come back in 60 seconds for the top of the third. Welcome back here to Bobby Hopkins Park as we head to the top of the third. Oak Ridge leading Maryville in the region championship ball game, 5-2 the score. And John, these two teams met last year over at Farragut in a similar spot. I'll let you elaborate on the result after this first pitch. In there for strike one.
Yeah, we met up with Maryville first game of the regional tournament last year. We beat them. I believe Cheeto had a 13 strikeout game the first game. And then we lost to Farragut in the regional championship, and then we came back against Maryville again in the consolation game. And then we had Alex Franklin and Peyton Witter on the bump to beat them that game. So we've beaten them twice in the postseason, but they've seemed to have our number in the regular season. So we'll see how this game goes today.
Well, that's how you want to start if you're Maryville,
the right fielder,
as they
number 7,
have a leadoff single
Gavin
to
DiBartolomeo.
start the ball game. Gavin DiBartolomeo is the next hitter. So 1 on, no outs here to start the top of the 3rd. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Mr. Hudson's on the grill, and boy, does a hamburger smell good right now for someone who, at this 11 o'clock, it's too early for me to eat lunch, too late to eat breakfast, so that food is just going to sound better and better the longer this game goes on, John Ulrich. 1-1 the count here for Teasley. 1 on, no outs. Teasley checks the runner at first. He's going to fire over there now. Cheeto does not get the tag on in time. Runner didn't have a sizable lead, but Mikey concerned about him. Just looking at the guy on first, he looks like he's a pretty good athlete, so I would not be surprised if he's not an aggressive runner on the base pad. Swung on and missed there, and it's 1 ball, 2 strike as Mikey gets back ahead of the count. Teasley checks the runner. He'll go home with it. Swung on, fouled off into the towards the city facilities back behind us and to the right. One ball, 2 strikes as Teasley delivers. It's going to be fouled off once again. No outs, runner on first. DiBartolomeo is the batter. Trying to move the runner at least to second. Teasley fires away. Close play as he had a quick pickoff move there, but the runner is called safe. And the Wildcats leading this one 5-2. This is for the region championship. John Ulrich mentioned a moment ago that these two teams played in the region tournament last year, where Oak Ridge got the better of them twice. Strike 3 as DiBartolomeo swings and misses for the 3rd strike. Beautiful pitch there from Teasley.
Batting now for Maryville, the shortstop, number 2, Kane Daber.
So Daber steps into the box now with 1 out. Double play potential here to end this inning. Teasley knows that. He fires a curveball, breaking ball in, I should say, at 73 miles an hour for strike 1. Next pitch in for a ball. It's 1-1 the count with 1 out. Runner on first. Curveball gets him. Strike 2. Teasley checks the runner at first. Not a big lead. He'll go home with it. Ball a little bit outside there. 91. Up and away. 2-2 the count now. This one's going to be roped into right field. Runner will stop at second. Double play is still
Daber singles.
an option now for Oak Ridge to get out of this inning. But there's traffic on the base. Runners at first and second with 1 out as a designated hitter, number 5, Trip Everett, comes to the plate. Maryville fan to our right says it's contagious. Keep it going, and that is the case here, at least so far. As it's been feast or famine. The first inning was famine. Second inning was a feast for Maryville. Easily with a nice pitch in there for strike number 1. love a quick grounder to the shortstop right here that could end this inning with a double play. 1 ball, 1 strike for Trip Everett. Teasley, a beautiful pitch, catches the inside corner, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball in there, fools the batter, he swings and misses, and there's out number 2. Oak Ridge came into this inning with a 3-run lead. They're trying to protect that lead here.
Now for Maryville, the first baseman.
2 on with 1 out,
17.
and Mikey works his way out of that one, strikes the batter out, and now with 2 down, Maryville is going to send a pinch runner in for the man on second.
In to run for Beyblade, number 15.
It'll be number 15, Dax Cole, the runner. So you would expect him to come in with some wheels at second, but Mikey Teasley's got other plans to try to end this inning. No, you're not hearing things. That is a dog barking here at Bobby Hopkins Park. Teasley, great movement on that ball. Registers at 73 miles an hour. There's a lot of drop in that ball.
Yeah, bottom just fell out of that one. That one dropped a ton.
0-1 after that strike is the count. Ball is called foul. Let's say, thought it was going to be fair, but John Ulrich says.
Foul ball off his leg.
So the count is now 0-2. Mikey Teasley in a really good spot right here. Again, you talked about him going to his curveball in this pitcher-friendly count. What do you say he does this time?
I think he's either going to run a changeup away on him or blow him fastball up and away.
And that one's going to be fouled off. Couldn't quite tell what that was. Fastball up and away, says the former Wildcat pitcher. 0-2 the count. Runner on first and second with 2 outs. Good movement on that one. Doesn't quite catch the corner, and it's in there for ball 1. Wildcats trying to get out of this inning unscathed here after the Maryville Rebels have put a couple runners on base and put a scare in the boys in Cardinal and Gray. Liner right side, and it's caught by Cheeto at first base. Cam Welch right in position. He's got a great arm. He's got a great glove as well. And he's got a great bat, and he'll be up first as we go to the bottom of the third. Wildcats lead the region championship 5-2.
number
23, first baseman Cam Welch stepping into the batter's box to start the bottom of the third. Wildcats leading 5-2 here at Bobby Hopkins Park. As we've now moved into the lunch hour, it's 12:02 p.m. This game started right at 11 a.m. here. There'll be a chance for a couple more games this afternoon. The winner of this one will not play anymore this weekend. They will clinch their spot in what is the sub-state. The loser will stay alive, but they'll have to play again this evening at 5 o'clock. There'll be a game following this one at 2 o'clock. Here, all three games at Bobby Hopkins Park. Cam Welch gets a hold of this one. Will it stay fair? It won't. About 10 feet away from being a double, as that one bounces off the right field fence. But it was just foul. Put a good swing on it, though. Good contact, smooth swing, but it's 0-2. As the starting pitcher still in this thing for Maryville. Obviously, at some point, this becomes kind of a game of numbers if you're managing this Maryville roster. If you get down too much, you don't want to burn one of your better arms that you have left because you've still got another game you've got to play. But as long as this one's a 3 or 4 run game and you think you got a chance, you're battling back and forth with that, right?
Yeah, you got a tough guy on the opposing side to score runs off of, Mikey Teasley, but if your guy's not being effective, you do have to get him out of there. So we'll see what they do here.
Maybe a test this inning to see if he can work his way back out. He's got some pretty good stuff. Not the fastest thrower in the world, but some nice movement on some of those breaking balls. But the Wildcats have been all over it. You haven't been to Bobby Hopkins Park in a few years. It's totally been the subject of a beautification project. Brick wall that goes about halfway down up at the base pass down to the dugouts. Camden Welch swings on strike 3 and misses. It was a pretty pitch that fooled him. And that'll bring up Peyton Witter. New bleachers here, though, new concrete, new concession stand and press box. And the mound and home plate area that are usually dirt are totally turf now, dirt-colored turf. But the only dirt on this field is around the bases. Ball one way low, bounces, gets past the catcher, but there's no runners on, so no harm done for the Rebels. 5-2 the score here in the bottom of the third, 1 out with Peyton Witter up to hit. A few more Oak Ridge fans than Maryville fans, but Maryville probably 65-35. It's a pretty good crowd from Maryville. Of course, it's not a bad drive, and on a Saturday morning, what else you got to do but get to the ballpark? 1-1 the count with 1 out. Witter calls for time. He'll reset. John, beautiful day for baseball. Cool temperatures. Everybody's in their long sleeves in mid-May. Wouldn't have expected that, but I'm not going to complain as this one's lined right to the right fielder, and Witter will be retired. So 2 batters up, 2 batters down, as Max Coleman, the Maryville pitcher, looks like he's gained a little bit more control this inning, and so far it looks like the right decision to leave him in.
Yeah, he's regained a little bit of control on the mound. It's looking like he's regained a little bit of confidence coming after the middle of this Oak Ridge Wildcat order.
So Richie Ferreira will step into the box. Left-handed hitter will face Coleman for the second time today, as this is second time through the lineup. We're about halfway through the lineup for the Wildcats. Richie's going to put a bunt down. Beautiful bunt. Gets past the pitcher. Can the third base get there? Not in time. Pass ball goes past the first baseman. Richie's got a shot to go to second, but he trips and falls is it looked like did he trip over the umpire? Jordan Ratledge shakes his head and says yes he did, and that's unfortunate for him because he would have easily got to second on the throwing error, but Maryville is saved by that sort of chance tripping incident. Just unfortunate break there for the Wildcats, but it goes Maryville's way. But regardless, as our executive producer would say, regardless, Richie's reaches first for the Wildcats with 2 outs. And Noah Wood up to bat for the Wildcats. He got a nice hit last inning. Let's see if he can do it again here. Richie fakes like he was going to go and then pulled up short. He'll remain at first as ball 1 goes to the catcher. Coach Free telling Noah Wood, attack, baby, attack. We'll see if he gets aggressive right here. Pitcher is going to be aggressive towards Richie Ferreira as he throws a pitch over there. No danger there, so Richie will step back off the base. Coach Free saying attack. We'll see what Noah Wood does here. 1 ball, no strikes. He's patient. Sees ball 2. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Richie Ferreira, the lone runner, on first. Pitch back again, keeps Richie Ferreira at bay.
Nope.
Runner goes to second. Richie Ferreira goes. There's nobody there to catch him, and he's going to be safe standing up. I think Richie thought he might have had a little more time than he did. It was closer than I thought it was going to be. He didn't even slide, but he didn't have to as he's safe. So now there's a runner in scoring position. Oak Ridge leading by 3, 5-2 the score in the bottom of the third. Noah Wood up in the count, 2 balls to 1 strike. Base hit could score the speedy Ferreira at second. Right fielder looking in. Pitcher looks back at him. Now he's going to throw to Wood. It's going to be ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. A hit to right field would for sure score Richie. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be low and outside. That's ball 4. So that will bring up Cy Stevens. Just 2 hitters away from the top of the order now. Maryville desperately needing to get out of this inning before the top of the order, and Warren East's red-hot bat comes back up to the plate. Pitcher and catcher have a brief conversation at the mound, trying to strategize as now runners are at the corners. Wood is at first after that walk, and Richie, I thought he was at third. I was going to say I didn't see him steal or anything, but he was just talking during that break to Coach Free, so he's at second. So runners at first and second with 2 outs as Cy Stevens, the future Walters State baseball player, steps in to the box. Pitcher doesn't like the lead that Richie has on second, so he steps off the mound, but doesn't throw. Richie doing a nice job of playing some mind games with the pitcher, kind of bouncing around, jumping around. Pitcher throws it, but it's low and away for ball 1. This pitcher is highly concerned with Richie Ferreira. He throws back to second again, but it's
Nope.
not in time. One ball, no strikes. More pitches to second than to home plate at this batter. Richie dancing around again, but the pitcher's going to deliver one right down Main Street, and it's swung on and missed, so the count is even. 1-1 with 2 outs and 2 runners on for the Wildcats. They lead at 5-2. There's some danger on the base pass, but the Wildcats have not scored here in the third. Richie flirts like he's going to run, but this one's going to be fouled up behind the first baseline, back behind the Wildcat locker room. One ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Curveball gets him. Beautiful pitch there from Coleman. It did not look like it was going to get in there, but it just catches the corner, and Coleman works himself out of a jam there in the third. We go to the top of the fourth. Wildcats lead it 5-2.
Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Park as the second baseman, Talon Van Ortwick, stands in against Mikey Teasley. Mikey drops a curveball inside for ball 1. Looked like a hard changeup at 85 miles an hour ran in on him. Ball 2. Ground ball to the second baseman, Whit Reniger. And it takes a funny hop and bounces off his glove, which allows the second baseman, Van Ortwick, to reach base.
Like double and triple duty here in the top of the fourth. Maryville up to bat. Runner at first. Batter shows bunt. He pulls it back, and it's ball 1. Runner extends his lead on first base. Teasley gives him a look, and he'll go home with it. In there for strike 2. Batter once again showed bunt, but he pulled it back even though it was in there for a strike. 1-1 pitch outside for ball 2. You know, we talk about Maryville here in this game. For those not in the area, or for those who are and felt it, there was an earthquake about 15 miles south of Maryville, categorized this morning, I think it was probably about 9 in the morning, categorized as a 4.1 magnitude earthquake. So it was felt. My dad lives just outside of Athens, Tennessee. He felt it. My family that lives in Powell and Alcoa felt it. My mother felt it. She was here in Oak Ridge. So it's the Rebels, though, here in the top of the third who were trying to shake things up themselves. Ball hit slowly and kind of hopping towards center field, but it was a great play by Noah Wood to backhand it and stop it from getting to the outfield, but there was just no way. It got to him too slowly. There was no way he was going to be able to make a play and try to throw to first. So with no outs, there's runners on first and second. Double play ball in play here if Teasley can get a grounder. But the way the ball is hopping around in the infield this morning, I mean, you're lucky to get one. Ball 1. Wind starting to tick up a little bit here. It was calm for the most part of the game. It was blowing this morning, but now it's noticeably blowing once again. Left to right here as we sit behind home plate. Moving from left field to right field, the wind is, I would guess, 5 to 8 miles an hour. I'm not an expert. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. Some Oak Ridge fans not real happy about that one. Mikey shakes it off. As the batter for Maryville gets the signal from the third base coach. We're ready to go. 2-1 the count. Runners on first and second. No outs. Mikey hops that one to Parker free. It's 3 balls, 1 strike. Mikey is 1 bad pitch away from these bases being loaded. We'll see if he can work himself out. You trust your talented junior here to do just that. Wildcats a little bit of a cushion, 5-2 the lead. Pipes one right down the turnpike. That was a no-brainer. Strike 2. So now Mikey has worked this to a full count. As the wind picks up once again, this time it's starting to come in from dead center field. Mikey strikes him out. Beautiful pitch there for strike 3. He's swung on and missed, and that's out number 1. 92 miles an hour shows the radar.
Stepping in now for Maryville, the left fielder.
As there was a little something
6,
extra behind that one.
Dockery.
Now, we talked about the double play a moment ago. Now that's important because the double play would end the inning. And boy, oh boy, would that ever fire this place up. And it would be a real blow to Maryville, who had hopes and still has hopes of doing some damage this inning. That one in there for 90. A little bit low, but he catches that bottom of the zone. In there for strike 1. Beautiful curveball in there. Did he go? Oh. He said he didn't go. John Ulrich says it doesn't matter because it was a strike, but they call it a ball.
I don't know what's going on here, Alex.
Yeah, the umpire today, and that was called a strike. The umpire today, it's not been terrible, but there's definitely been some inconsistencies, and it's been both ways. But it's a little bit hard to, you're kind of guessing on some of these that you, last night we'll say we weren't guessing on, we kind of knew what it was going to be. Strike 3, Maryville's not happy about that one, but I'll tell you who is, Wildcat faithful behind us. And Mikey Teasley talking to some of his teammates around the infield now.
Batting now for Maryville, the catcher.
As there was
number 3.
2 on with no outs. Those 2 have not moved. They're still at first and second as there's now 2 outs. Mikey Teasley going to have a conversation with his infield and with Travis Free as well, who takes a step to the mound. You've been in this situation where Coach Free's talking to you as a group, as a pitcher out there midway through a game. What do you think is the conversation?
My guess at the conversation is they're going through what maybe pickoff plays they could run, or it could just be Coach Free trying to give Mikey a minute to get a break, to breathe, get his reins. He's thrown a lot of pitches this inning. Getting some time for one of the guys to get loose in the bullpen. It could be a multitude of things, but I think Coach Free really knows what he's doing. So I got trust in Mikey, and I'm sure Coach Free does too.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Coach Free knows what he's doing, and he trusts his junior flamethrower on the mound. That being said, it looks like Trice Sharp is headed to the bullpen to start warming up, though, here. So we're in the top of the fourth. In there for strike one. To me, that's exactly where that ball was a moment ago that they call a ball. So we'll see, as this is a sizable athlete in the box right now. Big kid. Mikey goes right back to that breaking ball. That time it does not catch the corner. And the count's 1-1 with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Maryville trailing by 3, trying to put a dent in this Oak Ridge Wildcat lead. Ball 2 low and outside. 2-1 the count. Mikey has thrown 86 pitches so far in this ball game. Here's the 87th. Low and in the dirt, but a nice stop by Parker Free holds the runners in check where they are. So 3 balls, 1 strike the count. We mentioned Trice Sharp warming up. Teasley looks at the runner on second, pauses. Now he'll go home with it. Right down the turnpike for strike number 2. So a full count. The Maryville batter started to walk towards first, but that was a fairly easy called strike. But I understand why he's being patient. Big pitch in this ball game here. Full count, 2 runners on, 2 outs, the payoff pitch. Teasley gets a curveball, and he is fired up, and so are the Wildcat fans.
Mikey Teasley strikes out the side.
That was like a Picasso painting right there, how he got out of that jam. 2 on with 1 out.
And Parker Free.
And you don't surrender a run. Beautiful job right there.
I think he may have started off, I don't remember off the top of my head, but he may have started off with those 2 guys on and nobody out. And then he came back to strike out 3 guys in a row. So that's a beautiful job of working out of trouble by Mikey Teasley, striking out the side to get out of the inning.
We'll come back as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Wildcats due up to bat with a 3-run lead. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Park. Alex Myers with you. Alongside me is John Ulrich doing camera work and some color commentary for us. David Clary, our sponsor for today's game, allowing us to pay the Tito Lestable fee to get us on the air, being able to stream live. We appreciate you if you're watching. If you are, drop us a comment. Maybe we can get some shout-outs in here. David Clary is also our executive producer as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning here. The bottom of the lineup, it's Carson Fagan in. If he can reach base, the red-hot Warren East will be due up. He's taking a breather over there in the on-deck circle as the count is 1-1. 2-1, excuse me. Wildcats up 5-2 in this region championship game. If they win this game, they're the region champions. They won't have to play anymore this weekend, and they will be hosting the sectional with a chance for a second straight trip to Murfreesboro. But you got to get through this one first. There's ball 4. That's a big moment right there in this ball game. Nobody out. The bottom of the lineup gets on with a walk. What does this mean as the top of the order comes up?
Yeah, this is huge for the Wildcats. You get the bottom of the guy, or bottom of the order at a 9-hitter. Karsten Fagan reaches. Nobody out. One of your best hitters, the Oak Ridge single season hits leader, at the plate in Warren East. And you're looking at some potential damage here from the Wildcats.
Starting pitcher Max Coleman still on the mound for the Rebels. He's going to throw back to first, try to get Fagan, but Fagan slides back safely. The only thing you don't want to do right here if you're Warren East is ground into a double play. And if it happens, don't blame me for the announcer jinx. Tried to avoid it there, bunting. And I'm not sure if it tipped the bat or not, but it's going to be a strike regardless. That's gotta be ground. Going to throw back to first. They don't get him.
Nope.
A lot of pickoff moves from both pitchers this game, but they haven't been able to catch anybody. 0-1 the count, no outs. Runner on first here. It's Fagan as Warren East steps to the plate. East lays a bunt down. It's a beauty. No shot at a double play, and he nearly runs out the play at first, but they do get it. So he's out, but he pushes Carson Fagan to second base as the right-handed hitter
stepping in now for Oak Ridge, the catcher
is number 2, the catcher Parker Free.
Parker Free.
Free, I think, advanced a runner in his last at bat. We'll see if he can do that again here. Again, he's now in scoring position here, with only one out and a runner on second. Parker Free to bat. A canine friend in the stands wants him to get a hit. We'll see if he can. In there for strike 1. Our four-legged friend disagrees with that call. Pitcher concerned about Fagan at second, steps off the mound, and he'll regather himself.
Bueller.
Hanging curveball is going to be pounded towards right center. It's going to be caught, but Fagan will have plenty of time to tag up, and he'll go to third. So Free doesn't get on base, but he does advance the runner.
Moves over Carson Fagan.
And Fagan takes third as Teasley comes up to the plate with 2 outs and a chance to add to the lead and give himself a little more protection.
3.
Teasley patiently looks around. Infield playing catch between batters for Maryville. Mikey, something must have been said because I don't know if he's talking to the catcher or what. He's kind of laughing a little bit. So he's relaxed as he steps in to bat. Again, 2 outs, runner on third as Mikey steps into the box, trying to add to this lead. First pitch, low and away, hits the dirt. Catcher makes a nice play to block it. Stop the runner for coming from third, and that's ball 1. Good eye that time. It was close, but Mikey thought it was a ball, and it was a good eye as it was a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Mikey can really be kind of patient. We talked about him being, no, they're going to intentionally walk him. I was going to say, Mikey can really be patient and sit on one, and Maryville, I think they were thinking the same thing, and so they're going to put him over on first. And the left-handed Cheeto, Camden Welch, steps into the box.
23, Cam Welch.
And so Mikey will exit as Andy Hudson comes back in as a courtesy runner. So runners on the corners, first and third for Camden Welch as the left-handed junior steps into the box with 2 outs. A 4th inning that is beginning to drag a little bit. A single right here from Camden Welch could be huge. Really good take right there from Cheeto as that curveball was low. John, you mentioned a note about the catcher for Maryville.
Yeah, he's been really good behind the plate so far. He's blocked up just about every ball that's been in the dirt so far.
I agree. Cheeto watches one go high and outside. Coach Free in the background, barking out signals. 2-0 the count with 2 outs. Oak Ridge leading this region championship game 5-2 in the bottom of the 4th. They're trying to extend that lead. A single would do just that. Maryville, on the other hand, Max Coleman, the pitcher, has gone all the way, trying to get out of this. Cheeto faked like he was going to lay down a bunt, but then he pulled it back, but it was a strike. So Andy Hudson just kind of trots into second. I mean, he almost literally walked into second base that time, but runners at second and third now. A single would likely score 2 as fast as Andy is. Hanging curveball. I thought that was one that you might swing at if you're a Welch. That looked like a pretty good one to hit, but Welch takes that one. So there's 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runners on second and third. A whole lot of 2s. Cheeto just trying to stay alive there. I think the pitch prior was a better one to hit, but that was probably going to be ball 3. But you got to protect the plate when you got 2 strikes. Here's a pitch, line to the right side. It gets past the second baseman. That'll score 1. Will it score 2? You bet it will. The Wildcats lead it 7-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. Off the bat of Cam Welch, who hit a hard grounder to the right side of the infield. They couldn't quite get to it. It bounced off the glove of a Maryville Rebel, the second baseman, into the outfield, and it was slow rolling enough at that point that Andy Hudson could stand up and walk into home plate, and there's the breathing room. Maryville, as I look over to our right, peek at their dugout, trying to kind of figure out how to strategize at this point. Now, Peyton Witter comes to the plate. He's got some power. Let's see what he wants to do with it. He'll watch one go low and in for ball one. And that might be the day for Max Coleman. And we're going to take a 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll kind of see what's going on here, as that will be Max Coleman's day. So we'll see the new pitcher coming in, which is number 22, Anderson Abbott. So we'll give him a minute or so to warm up. When we come back, we'll see what he's got for the Wildcats. Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Field, where the Wildcats lead at 7-2 in the region championship game here in the bottom of the fourth. An inning that is just dragging. Unfortunately, if you're a Maryville fan, it's dragging because Oak Ridge has put up some numbers. So
once again,
Max Coleman's day is done after he throws 75 pitches. And so in for the Rebels as a relief pitcher is number 22, Anderson Abbott. He'll try to wrap this one up. The southpaw stares at Camden Welch, who's the first base runner. And on the first pitch, Peyton Ritter is going to swing on it and foul it off into no man's land over the right field fence. comes the second pitch. It's going to be blasted deep to left field. Will it stay in the park? It barely will. What a play by the left fielder. Everybody kind of held their breath for a second, but a nice play by him, and Anderson gets the Rebels out of that inning without any more damage. It's a 5-run lead for the Wildcats. We'll see if Mikey Teasley takes the mound once again or if Trice Sharp comes back in. When we come back, we'll talk about what could be ahead for the Wildcats as we round out this game. Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Park here. I want to throw something out at you. I don't want to jinx it, but if Oak Ridge, if their lead holds and they win the region championship and secure a spot in the sectionals, that is a series. So in order to broadcast those games, it's $300 a game. So we'd like to remind you, David Clary, our executive producer for yesterday's and today's game, he has sponsored by himself this game, but that's obviously not sustainable. So we'll need your guys' help, whether it's a business in the community or family or friends or somebody who just wants to help us be able to stream these games in that series. Assuming Oak Ridge can hold on, then that would be something that we would need your help with, and certainly you could contact David Clary at dccatvoice@aol.com. That's dccatvoice@aol.com, or if you've got his number, just shoot him a text if you would be interested in doing that. But we've got a couple innings to get through here first. Mikey Teasley remains on the mound, and here's a slow roller to shortstop, and it's going to be out number one. Mikey Teasley looking good right now as his pitch count is into the 90s. Let's see over on our YouTube stream if we've got any commentators. Jim Bunch says go Wildcats. Bravado says go Oak Ridge. Love the pitching, Coach Jeremiah. I see a couple other familiar faces on the stream, as this one's going to be rocketed just past the outstretched arms of the second baseman. And Richie Ferreira quickly gets that one back in. So I think Richie was going to try to throw the guy out from right field, but it's a really good piece of hitting right there for Maryville.
Trip Everett.
Trip Everett comes to the plate with one out and a runner on first. Mikey Teasley, a right-handed pitcher, gets ready to face this right-handed batter. Breaking ball just didn't quite break enough, so that's ball one. See what he offers for pitch number two. Same thing, same spot at 71 miles an hour. A lot of people don't know this, but a month or so ago, as that one's similar spot, different pitch, but similar spot, 3 balls, no strikes. Mikey Teasley, Parker Free, and Camden Welch paid a visit to a local youth baseball player about a month ago who was having some health struggles, and they're trying to get him right. And those three, along with Coach Free, went and paid that young man a visit, cheered his spirits up, his family's spirits up, and really wasn't publicized. But I wanted to give those guys a shout out because they did that. And I think a lot of times you see these guys on the field but don't necessarily see what they do off the field. And sure, they're young people, but they've got good hearts and really good guys. And it's a good group of guys led by a good man and Coach Free. So Mikey Teasley was in a hole there, 3 balls, no strikes before I started rambling.
Stepping in now for
Tell us what happened, how he was
base,
able to get out of that.
Number 17.
He dug deep and fought his way back, got the zone, got the outside corner with a fastball, and then dropped the curveball in on him for strike 3.
Runner thought about going. He didn't. Mikey Teasley misses that one high for ball 1 and pats himself on the chest. I was almost as if to say, my bad on that one. So 2 outs, runner on first with 1 ball, no strikes. There's going to be a soft ground ball, hit to Cheeto. He corrals it, steps on the base, and that'll do it. So Oak Ridge in the bottom of the 5th, as we head to the bottom of the 5th, will
Do it for Oak Ridge in the bottom of the 5th.
try to add on to this 5-run lead. We are a couple innings away from potentially crowning a region champion. Will it be clad in cardinal and gray? We'll see. Stick with us to find out. Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Park, where the Wildcats lead this region championship game over Maryville 7-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Due up for the Wildcats, Richie Ferreira, Noah Wood, and Cy Stevens. Mikey Teasley has gone all 5 innings and looked really good last inning, only giving up 1 hit. We'll see if he goes back out for the 6th. Trice Sharp was warming up. It looks like he is continuing to do so. And we'll see. But first, Oak Ridge gets the chance to hit. Ooh, that one's way behind Richie Ferreira. He tried to scoot forward. It still hit him in the back. If you're going to have a pitch hit you, you'd rather it be an off-speed pitch, as that one was. So thankfully, Richie's all right, and he'll take his gloves off and trot to first base. But not good if you're Maryville, as Noah Wood, who's had a really nice day at the plate today, comes up to bat with no outs and a man on first. Anderson in. He faced the last batter from Oak Ridge last inning, and this is his first full inning of duty. A beautiful piece of bunting by Noah Wood. Too far for the catcher to get, too close to the plate for the pitcher to get in time. And so he advances the runner from first to second, and he gets on to first as well. So the left fielder, number 22, the 8-hole hitter, Cy Stevens, comes to the plate with no outs, 2 runners on, just 2 batters away from the top of the Oak Ridge lineup. Stevens with 2 on, no out. Fresh count. We'll see what he wants to do. Is his approach to be patient, or is it to be aggressive? He looks like he's going to bunt. He tries to get one down, and it fouled off right underneath the catcher's leg. Stevens Takes a deep breath, steps back into the batter's box. 0-1 the count after that failed bunt attempt on pitch 1. Here's the pitch. Oh no, they've got a runner caught. Richie Ferreira is going to try to take third, and nothing going there. And now the runner's going to try to take second as he just kind of patiently goes. Richie's going to be out at third. The advancer, the Noah Wood, the runner on second. Now, so he did at least advance to scoring position, but unfortunately there are 2 on, no outs. Oak Ridge makes their first base running blunder of the weekend, but at least it doesn't end the inning. I'll say that. But nice job by Maryville catching him down. So back to the batter now. It's Cy Stevens, 1-1 the count. Noah Wood, the only base runner on, taking the lead on second. There's a strike, 1-2 the count. Stevens turns away, looks towards Coach Free, shakes his head. I think he's a little upset at himself after that one, but he's still got a chance. And he rips one past the third baseman. Wood is going to round third. Will he score? He's going to be held up. Ooh. That would have been really close. Coach Free is not happy with Cy Stevens. Coach Free thinks Stevens should have gone to second while they were throwing home, and unfortunately it just didn't happen. You talked about last night, Coach Free always wanting to put pressure on the defense.
Yeah, on a play like that where the throw from the outfielder gets by the cutoff man, if you're the guy that got the hit, you're the trailing runner, you gotta get a read on that and make the try to advance to second, because especially as you saw there, the catcher bobbled the throw in. He definitely could have made it to second there.
Well, and the other thing it does by keeping that runner on first is for Maryville to double play could still end the inning, and it wouldn't have been in effect if he would have gotten to second. But 9-hole hitter Carson Fagan up to bat now. Got a nice hit last inning, or last trip up to bat. We'll see if he can knock one in here. A single would score another run and add it to Oak Ridge's lead. He's showing bunt early. He pulls it back. We'll see if he swings. He does. Chopper high to third. They're going to throw to second for 1 out, and they won't get the first at, but the run does come in from third. So Noah Woods crosses the plate. Carson Fagan gets the base. It was a fielder's choice. They chose to go to second with it to get the second out. They tried to turn 2, couldn't do it, and so
the center fielder, number 4.
Oak Ridge does score the run. So Warren East comes back up, the top of the order, due up right now with 2 outs, as Oak Ridge has now extended their lead to 6. It's an 8-2 ball game for Oak Ridge in this region championship game. The bottom of the 5th inning here, live from Bobby Hopkins Park. Anderson, the pitch, is roped to third, gets past the third baseman. Fagan, round second. He's going to third. Coach Free will stop him there, and Warren East's red-hot bat, it looks like Darth Vader's lightsaber at this point. It's practically glowing as he hits another double.
Stepping in now for Oak Ridge, the catcher, number 2.
Now Parker Free back up to bat. Another chance for Parker to drive in some runs here. The right-handed hitter, the catcher, a junior on this squad, looks at the defense and how they're aligned. They're shading him heavy to the left as he's got a runner on second and third with 2 outs. Anderson looks at the runner on second, grimaces, and sends one down the middle for strike 1. Runner on second base. Warren East signaling to the pitcher, Anderson, waving him on like, come on, throw it. Warren East communicating with Parker Free at the plate. Parker smashes one into right field. That'll score one, and it'll score two. Parker stretching it out into a double. Will he go for third? He's going to go. Coach Free holding him up, but he goes anyways. It's going to be a close play. He's in there. A two-out triple for Parker Free. Scores two, and the Wildcats are into double digits. Maybe a little aiding from the runner at second that time.
Stepping in now for Oak Ridge, the pitcher, number 3.
Great piece of hitting, hit that to the perfect spot. The only place he could have been better was over the wall. Beautiful piece of hit work there from Parker Free, and Oak Ridge extends this to an 8-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Sniffing a region championship and a berth into the sectionals are the Wildcats. Mikey Free comes up. Once again, he's gone all 5 innings here for the Wildcats. He's got a runner on third with 2 outs. Can he add to this lead? Single would do it. High and inside for ball 1. Maryville pitchers today haven't had incredible velocity that we've seen for the most part, but they have had some decent movement. We'll see. Mikey fouls this one. Thought the first baseman was going to be able to make a play on that one, but it sails harmlessly over the fence and falls foul for strike 1. 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Parker Free got a triple a moment ago, but they have substituted him in since he's the catcher. They've got a courtesy runner in. That's Kipton Fagan. His brother scored a moment ago. Teasley turns on one, hit on the inside of the bat, and he nearly legs out a single, but nice play by the pitcher to corral that loose ball. Kind of juggled it before he tossed it over to first base for an out. So the 5th inning, Oak Ridge scores 3 runs, and they lead 10-2 as we head to the bottom of the or top of the 6th. If you're Maryville, you're down to potentially 6 outs right here. You've got to do something, and you've got to do it quick. We'll see if they respond when we come back in 60 seconds. Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Park. Alex Myers, John Ulrich here with you. John, you've got some notable lineup changes as Mikey Teasley is off the bump.
Yeah, you have Trice Sharp coming in to pitch this top of the 6th inning. Mikey moves to third base, and then you have Andy Hudson coming in left field.
How would you describe Trice's stuff and his delivery, as it's a little bit unique, as a pop fly on pitch number 2 is going to go to foul territory, but no one will be able to get that. Talk about Trice and what he brings to the table. He's got a really low, almost submarine pitch release.
Yeah, it's a really, really difficult change for hitters to pick up. You go from Mikey really over the top, throwing hard, to Trice coming from about knee high with his release point. And it's really hard to pick up with a hitter's eyes. It's something you don't see in high school very much. There's another change in the defense that I missed. Whit Reniger comes out, and Carson Fagan moves to second base.
Thank you very much, John Ulrich, as that one's roped right over into right center, right over Fagan's glove as he jumped for it. And so Richie Ferreira will corral that one and send it in to the shortstop at second base to hold the runner at first. A nice piece of hitting there for the Maryville batter.
The third baseman, A.J. Moan.
A.J. Moan, the batter now, second batter. Sharp has faced as he misses low there. Pitching coach having a couple words over to my left with Coach Free after some observations. Sharp throws one in. That's another ball. 2 balls, no strikes. That one's in there for strike. Maryville forcing him to throw you one, and they did. So now the count is a little more even here. 2-1 with no outs. Runner on first. Ball 3, a little high on that one. Sharp not too concerned with the runner on first. He's not really even peeking over there. And that one's going to be tipped. It brings him to his knees, the batter. Almost swung out of his shoes there, and that will make this a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. A runner on first for Trice Sharp in his first inning of work here, facing his second batter here in the top of the 6th. Sharp delivers the pitch. It's going to be a grounder. Will it be 2? Cheeto to second. Oh, he throws it over the head of the second baseman. It looked like a really good defensive play, and it was up until the throw, and for whatever reason it just slipped out of his hands, and it was a little too high for the second baseman. So it sails into center field, and it will be 2 on with no outs as Trice Sharp tries to work himself out of a little bit of a jam here. Oak Ridge with the cushion, though. 10-2 the lead here in the region championship, as there's a ground ball to second. This could be 2. It is. First, there it is. 2 outs.
Fagan to Noah Wood.
So Fagan to Wood. Fagan at second, field of the ground ball. Toss it about 5 feet to his right to Noah Wood, who was charging and touched second. Wood then fired one away to Camden Welch, who was stretching out at first. It was a close play, but it was a double play. So 2 outs. Runner that was at second does advance to first. And here's another ball hit hard to first. Cheeto fields it. Cheeto touches the base, and that's out. So a nice job by Sharp there to work himself out of a little bit of a jam. And Oak Ridge will come up. Maryville down to their last 3 outs, John.
Yeah, that was a big-time double play coming back from Cheeto's error. It was just what the doctor ordered. Tailor-made double play ball to Carson, to Noah, and onto Cheeto at first, but that I believe he's their center fielder. He did not make that an easy play for Noah Wood to turn. He's got some wheels, and then Cheeto comes back and makes the play to end the inning. So it's we'll be back here at Bobby Hopkins Park in 60 seconds.
For Oak Ridge.
Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Park. Alex Myers with you, along with John Ulrich doing camera work and some color commentary. He's the one with the baseball knowledge. So if you hear any good commentary, it's his voice that you're hearing. Hear any bad? Well, that's me. I want to thank David Clary. He's our executive producer for last night's ball game, the win over Farragut, and today's as well. Oak Ridge leading 10-2 here as we head to the bottom of the sixth. Camden Welch, the 4-hole hitter, up to bat and start things off here for Oak Ridge. Thank you to John and Jordan, who've alerted me to the fact that Maryville has a new pitcher in. That is number 4, Gavin Craig. Speaking of David Clary, he is also our sponsor. John Ulrich's father sponsored our game last night, allowing us to get on the air. David Clary sponsored today's game, but we'll need your help. If Oak Ridge is able to hold on to this win, that means they will go to the sectionals, which is a good thing, but it's $300 a game to broadcast these that we have to pay the TSSAA to do. So with that being the case, in the next series, the sectional, rather, as Camden Welch flies out, an infield fly.
Batting now for
route number 1. The sectional will be a series, and so you will at least need to sponsor 2 games, potentially 3 that we'll need to come up with the money for. So $600, potentially $900 that we'll need to come up with. So if you are a business, know a business, or just are an individual who would like to help sponsor, you can do one of 2 things. You can sponsor an entire game, pay the $300, and you can be our sole lone sponsor for that game, or you can chip in and add a little money here and there. And if we get some folks around the community and parents and friends and family that want to be able to broadcast these games live on YouTube, we can make it happen that way as well. So if you're interested, let us know. You can comment on YouTube, or the better way to do it is just to email David Clary. You can email dccatvoice@aol.com. That's dccatvoice@aol.com. Or if you've got his number or my number, you can shoot us a text and let us know, and we can try to make that happen. Pamela Mitchell says, "Roll Wildcats, roll." Appreciate you guys viewing on YouTube. Got over 100 people currently watching. Most of them probably muted me by now, which would be a smart decision. This one's going to be roped into the gap into the left field. And Peyton Witter has got a 1-out single for the Wildcats. Richie Ferrero step into the plate now, the lefty.
Stepping in now for Oak Ridge, the right fielder, number 12.
Done a nice job today on the base paths, just all around. In the batter's box and obviously in right field as well. So it looks like there's going to be a pinch runner for Witter. Who will that be, John?
That is number 8, Camden Britton.
For the Wildcats,
Camden Britton.
Number 8, Cam Britton.
Again, 1 out for Richie Ferreira as he steps to the plate. With a runner on first, the Wildcats leading this region championship game 10-2. Pitcher checks the runner at first, sends one high and inside, right over the top of Richie's head. Richie got hit last inning, trying to avoid doing that again. As Oak Ridge has got the speedy Cam Britton at first. This is going to be ripped into right field. Britton's going to round second and go to third. Richie Ferreira is going to do the same. He's going to get to second. Britton is thrown out at third.
Richie Ferreira, double.
Coach Free doesn't like the call, or at least doesn't like the result as he kind of waves his hands. But Richie Ferreira does what a runner didn't do an inning or so ago. Coach Free was mad, and he does go ahead and take second base. So the result of that is an out, but the runner is still at second. It's just a different runner. As stepping into the plate, for the Wildcats is Noah Wood. He's had a really nice game at the plate from that 7 spot. He's going to launch this one into right field, shallow right field. Is it fair? No, it's foul. if it would have stayed fair, it was going to be one of those balls that just was too shallow for the right fielder to make, too deep for the first baseman to make, but unfortunately for Oak Ridge, that just about 10 feet too far to the right. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs with a runner on second for Noah Wood. There's going to be one. Will it get down? It will for Noah Wood. He's going to round first. Coach Free waves the runner on third home. He gets it. And the runner on first will be thrown out at second. So a little bit of a wild play there. So he singles in Richie Ferreira, who was at second. Richie rounded third, crosses the plate before the throw was made to second to get Noah Wood out. So Noah Wood reached, then got out. The run will count, though. So Oak Ridge adds 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. They now lead it by 9. It's 11-2 here as we head to the top of the 6th. Excuse me, top of the 7th. So Maryville's down to their last 3 outs. If you're a Wildcat fan, you're 3 outs away from celebrating a region championship and a spot in the sectional tournament. It will be a series, rather. We'll be back in 60 as Peyton Ritter looks to shut the door on the region championship as he'll take the mound here in the 7th. I've talked a lot on here about, I'm primarily kind of a basketball guy. David Clare lets me stick around and help for some other sports sometimes, and I appreciate him doing that. But one of the things that I like about baseball, and it's one of the reasons I don't like watching it at home a ton, but I do love watching it in the ballpark, is it's just a sport that lends itself to casual conversation and to different, just being able to talk, because there is some breaks and lulls between the action, and so much of it's a mental game. But been able to kind of converse with some of the Oak Ridge fans that I see each time I come to the ballpark, some longtime Oak Ridge baseball fans, along with John Ulrich, Jordan Ratledge, a couple of former baseball players in their own rights, and picking up some nuggets and knowledge from them has been really fun. So thank you, David Clary and John Ulrich's father, for sponsoring these last couple of games, last night and tonight, allowing us to be on the air. Again, if you'd like to sponsor the sectional game, assuming Oak Ridge holds on to this lead, just contact David Clary and let him know. Peyton Witter again on the mound. He closed out last game, or the game last night. He's looking to do the same thing here. 2 quick balls as Peyton's behind in this count. Three balls, no strikes. Maryville, if you're going to rally, you've got to do it now, as that's going to be in there for a strike. Pitcher, or the batter, swung on it, fouled it back behind us towards the softball field, the new softball facility, which is at Kevin Callia Field, and it's 3-1. Witter delivers the pitch. That one's going to be lined into center field, and that'll fall for a base hit. Beyblade was the hitter there.
Batting now for Maryville, the right fielder, number 7.
Now batting will be number 7, Gavin DiBartolomeo. Runner on first for DiBartolomeo. He's going to send a shot, but it's going to be foul. He pulled that one. Right-handed batter hit that one over the left field outer fence. That one falls down onto string, as I'll have to embarrass him. Jordan Ratledge was looking at me to say something. The ball was then fouled right back at the net, right behind them, and as he turned around, he kind of jumped. 0-2 the count, and he's going to stay alive as the hitter. He sends that one back towards the city complex behind right field. So 0-2 the count. runner on first. Maryville down to their last 3 outs here in the top of the 7th. Runner's going to go. There's going to be no play on that, but he's going to send that ball into center field. Warren East dives and makes the catch. He's going to send it to first. Will he tag him? No. Cheeto couldn't quite corral it. The ball goes into the dugout, and the runner will have to be held at second. What a play, a show and display of athleticism by Warren East, who all the talk this weekend primarily has been about his bat, and rightfully so. What a play, a diving catch, and he had a shot there, I thought, to get 2 on that.
Yeah, that was an incredible play by Warren East, charging in on that sinking line drive and diving to make a great catch. That bouncing throw to Cheeto. Cheeto just couldn't handle it, and it skips out of the skips right around the brick wall out on the right field line, and the runner advances to third, sorry.
That ball fell behind the press box, and 0-1 the count as the first pitch was foul. Peyton Witter fires a second pitch in there, low and outside, 4-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 4th pitch. Low and outside again. Runner on third flirts with coming home, but he won't. A nice play by Parker Free to corral that before it got too scary. Weather's starting to heat up. The breeze is backed off. The sun's trying to peek out from behind the clouds here in Oak Ridge. And there's ball 4. No, they call a strike. Tell you, this has been a little bit of a tough game to a little bit of a tough ball game to figure out here. As that's ball 4, no doubt about that one, as it skipped before it got to home plate. Full count, but it's a walk for Babers as he takes first base. So runners on the corner for Maryville.
The designated hitter, number 5.
Only 1 out here, but Maryville needs a whole bunch to rally and keep this thing a ball game. It's 11-2 the score right now. Oak Ridge in the lead, a commanding lead here at the top of the 7th. 2 outs away from claiming a region championship. That ball is going to be sent into shallow right field. There's a play on it. It's Richie Ferreira's to make, and he drops the ball. He's going to throw it home. Will he send it? No. What a play by Richie. Richie Ferreira dropped the fly ball that he knows he should have caught, but he makes up for it by firing quickly the ball right back into Parker Free, which holds the runner at third, so they don't get a run out of that. But, John, you made a great point about it's been cloudy this entire morning until right before that batter, and I mentioned the sun coming out. How does that affect an outfielder?
Yeah, especially here at Bobby Hopkins Park, it's a really high sky, and when the sun comes out either behind the clouds or once it really gets up there, it becomes really hard for the outfielders, especially the right fielder, to see.
Great point you just made there. Bases loaded with 1 out. Peyton Witter trying to slam the door here on a region championship. There's a strike. 0-2 the count. There's strike 3. The Maryville Rebels down to their last out. That one made Jordan jump again, and it made me jump that time. It was fouled right back towards our camera here. I want to say thank you to Mike and Jeff Henderson, who have already reached out to David Clary and said they are going to sponsor Game 1 of the sectional series if Oak Ridge holds on. So thanks to Mike and Jeff Henderson. They've been such good friends was nice to see Jeff at the game last night. Here's a grounder. It's going to be a tough play to make. The second baseman, can he make it? He tosses it to Cheeto. That's out. Oak Ridge has won the region championship. What a way to end it. A celebration in the crowd for the Wildcats. They're a little more subdued. Perhaps because of the big lead, there wasn't a lot of drama at the end. Or perhaps, just perhaps, the Wildcats have something bigger on their mind this season. No doubt, though, a region championship, particularly in this region, at this level of play, a very, very special thing to do. And Coach Free has brought a region championship home to the Oak Ridge baseball program for the first time since 1993. That's the last time the Wildcats won the region championship in baseball. Congratulations to Coach Free, everybody on this roster, and everybody who's followed this team. We invite you to stick with us with our broadcast here, as we're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, we're going to have an interview with a couple players, hopefully Coach Free as well, as the celebration continues here from Bobby Hopkins Park. The 2025 Wildcats are region champions. While we have a moment when the music's not blaring, I will remind you and thank Mike and Jeff Henderson, who have agreed to sponsor, which is a $300 commitment. They sponsor the first game of the sectionals. So it is a series. So Oak Ridge will at least play 2 games, potentially 3. That means we need to raise $300 or potentially $600 more dollars. We've already raised $300 with Mike and Jeff Henderson's generous commitment to make that happen. So we'll be able to broadcast live
over Maryville. Oak Ridge has
Game 1.
the Region 2
if you would like to donate
and will be
or
hosting
contribute
a sub-state series.
to the cause, or even
Region 2
sponsor an
4A
entire
champion.
game for yourself or your
Oak
business,
Ridge Wildcats.
let David Clary know. You can text him if you've got his number, or you can email David Clary by emailing dccatvoice@aol.com. That's dccatvoice@aol.com. And you heard the voice of James Branson doing PA, friend of Prep Radio as well. He's done so much for us over the past. He mentioned it. Oak Ridge, with that win, will be hosting Sub-State, the Sub-State Series. Winner, we're waiting to figure out who they might play. So the team's taking pictures. We've got to mute the microphone here so we don't get kicked off of YouTube for the music that's being played. But we're still here, and we'll be here for a few more minutes. We're going to have an interview, hopefully with Coach Free, as well as a couple of Wildcat baseball players as they celebrate the 2025 Region Championship. We'll be back in a moment from Bobby Hopkins Park. Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Park on the heels of an 11-2 victory for the region championship. Alex Myers now joined by Noah Wood. Noah, first off, congratulations. I know you guys have a lot of check marks, a lot of boxes to check as far as your team goals, I'm sure, this year. I'm sure this was one of them. How big was this to get this win?
This was like just a small step. We just got to keep playing, keep fighting, and now we got to see who we play at sub-state, and we'll be here. So we just got to keep fighting, playing together, stay together, and we should be good.
You looked really comfortable in the batter's box today. What was going on? What gave you that confidence to feel like you could just be the man up there?
Just get my pitch, be aggressive, don't miss it. Like, just do my job, get on for my team, score some runs, let's go win.
How special is it? I know Oak Ridge hasn't, I don't know if you guys know this, I'm sure you probably do, but Oak Ridge hasn't won the region championship since 1993. So before you guys were born, before I was born as well, technically. But it's been a long time coming. So not only to win this, but to be able to host the sectionals, that's got to mean a lot for you, especially the seniors that are on the team, right?
Yeah. This is a very special moment to us, and it's just a small step of the way, and glad we can host it here and everybody come watch us and do our thing.
Noah Wood, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll keep it right here as Warren East is coming up next. I believe we'll have Mikey Teasley and Coach Travis Free as well. So, Warren, we celebrated you last night. The hot bat continued today. I was going to say you're getting hot at the right time, but you've been hot all year. But today, just like I talked to Noah about, it seemed like you guys from the jump today, all of your batters, you guys seemed like you just had a confidence about you at the plate. Is that something you guys talked about before the game, or is it just when you get in there and you feel it?
I mean, knowing you have people behind you that are going to support you and you have a solid defense behind you, I mean, there's not much to worry about. Just go out there, have fun, and play ball.
These pitchers today, they weren't throwing real fast. They had some pretty good movement, at least that the starting pitcher did, but it looked like you guys at some point, probably in that second inning, really started figuring them out and teeing off of. I noticed that a lot of times Parker or some other guys will, even if they don't get on base, they'll come back and talk to you, the next batter. What's some of that conversation like? What is and how valuable is that?
For me, I'm not big on going up there and thinking so much. I like reacting, but Parker, Mikey, they are big on going up here and expecting like what the next pitch is or what the go-to pitch is for the guy or what's his get me over. So for them, it's very valuable.
You guys win the championship. You don't have a ton of seniors on this team, but what does it mean for the seniors you guys do have to make sure that they go out with their names in the record books here, the first team to win region since 1993?
Not only for the seniors, the whole team. I mean, I love the seniors, the family, but the whole team deserves it, man. We've been through hell and back, so I'm excited to keep playing, and we're here, so I'm excited. We don't got to travel.
Here, you might as well stay a while. I know that another trip to Murfreesboro on the horizon if you can take care of business this coming week. Congratulations, Warren, on a fantastic weekend.
Thank you.
We'll keep it right here. I know that Coach Free will be joining us. I think Mikey will be joining us. But let's see if I can find him, if we'll go on a break or if we'll just keep it right here. John Ulrich says he's coming. I see him now. I want to remind you, if you would like to sponsor our games next week, just email David Clary or text him if you've got his number. It's dccatvoice@aol.com. If you would like to help us to get, I know Mike and Jeff Henderson, we thank them. They have already agreed to sponsor the first game of the series. They'll play at least 2, potentially 3. It's $300 every time they have to do that. So appreciate your support, David Clary, for executive producing this game as well. And last night's game. With me now, Mikey Teasley, the guy that was on the mound. I think you went 5 full innings, and then in the 6th you were relieved by Trice, and then obviously the closer came in at the end there. What a performance by you today. It was a shaky start there in the second inning. You gave a couple runs. You had some traffic early in the innings, but then you guys, you seem like you figured it out. What was going on out there?
I just wasn't letting – we made mistakes, but you don't let it affect you, and obviously just build off of everything that's happening. And although that you gave up hits, you're going to give up hits in the game. So, I mean, I don't let it affect me. I just keep on battling and going after them.
I'm assuming as a pitcher, it also helps knowing how much firepower you guys have when you guys are up to bat as well. And once you got that 5-2 lead, it seemed like you really relaxed. How big is that as a pitcher, knowing, hey, these guys have got my back when we're up to bat?
Well, I know that they're going to do everything they can to get a hit for me, and that's what they do. So when I knew we had 3 runs, I didn't let it affect me or anything. I just kept on playing.
Mikey, I noticed it last night and really today. It seems like every time you go up to the bat, I know that you know a lot of these guys. You've played a lot of ball around this area, but it seems like you're kind of laughing. You seem so relaxed when you're at the plate. Talk some young folks through, if you've got some young players watching you, what your mindset is up there when you're at bat.
Well, if you're thinking and stressing, you're obviously going to have a lot on your mind, and then you're bound to fail. So I just go up there, have fun, and know that I'm going to get the job done.
I'm not sure if you guys know this or not. I'm assuming you do, but I'm not sure. Oak Ridge hadn't won a region championship since 1993, before you were born, before anybody on this team was born. How big is that to come back to your hometown and be able to be a part of something that will forever be etched in the history book for this program?
It's something big, but, I mean, that's what we're about. We're about winning. So, I mean, we don't get our heads too high, but we still got 2 more to win, and then we're in the state tournament again where we want to be.
You guys get to host the sectionals, and I noticed that. I made a comment on the air. It looked like you guys – I was like, it looks like they're celebrating the win, kind of. It looked like you guys were happy to get it, but it certainly doesn't look like you guys are satisfied. I think you guys have bigger goals ahead of you. How do you celebrate this with your team but also stay focused?
Well, we celebrate. I mean, we don't, because this is what we do. We always win. So we're used to winning, and that's what we are. We're winning culture now. We've turned it around. So, I mean, the bigger thing that we have ahead of us is obviously the state championship. So we don't start celebrating all crazy because we won a regional championship. We got bigger things in the state championship, which we're going to be at.
Mikey Teasley, junior pitcher with us, a part of the winningest team and counting in program history. Congratulations on a region championship.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Next up will be Coach Free, as we'll keep it right here, as he is making his way up here. We appreciate these players. They're not used to having every game. I know David does some of the games, but they're not used to necessarily having to always come up, and I know they'd rather definitely be celebrating with their teammates in the locker room, but they give us a couple minutes of time in all these sports, in basketball and baseball and football, and we certainly appreciate them and the coaches, both after the wins and losses, to always take the time and talk with us. So we appreciate that, and we appreciate you for listening. Spread the word. We'd love to see you down at the ballpark, but if you're listening from outside of the area and you can't make it to the ballpark, we will be broadcasting this next series. As Coach Free is trying to get the sprinklers on, but also trying to make sure nobody gets soaking wet out there in the outfield. Thank you very much, John Ulrich. As executive producer David Clary has let us know, we've got a second game sponsor. Jeff Huckabee with Versally Ticks sponsored Game 2. So, Coach, we've got Game 1 and Game 2 covered to stream. Now we just need somebody to sponsor $300 for that potential third game. Hopefully we won't need it. But Coach Travis Free with me now. Coach, congratulations. First team to eclipse the 30-win mark in program history. Now you're the first team since 1993 to bring a region championship home.
It's just each step of the way, like we keep talking about as a team and with our kids. It takes 7 wins to get back to the state tournament, and we just got a little poster in there. We just say, hey, it's one day, it's one pitch, and it's one win at a time. So it's just another mark and another win along the way, and now we've got 2 more to get, right? So now all we're worried about is going to be focused on the next one. Like, what do we got to do to win the next one singular game? So we're getting closer. We played well. I mean, once again, we did a really good job today. I'm proud of our guys. We got a little sloppy at the end, but, you know, when you're up 9 and you kind of start to relax, just trying to finish it out. But at the end of the day, a great team win. Mikey held them right in check where we needed them. Trice was able to get us out of another good inning, and then Peyton another good inning to get us out of it. So all in all, I feel like it was a good team win for us today.
Mikey mentioned the word culture, and I think that's so important. When you got here, you know, guys have done a good job, but the winning culture, the consistency, it just wasn't there. Mikey talked about how the expectation is to win, and it's not something they get excited about because that's what they do. But seeing your guys afterwards, smiles on their faces, but not jumping around and throwing Gatorade and stuff like that, how do you as a coach, when you come into a program, how have you changed this culture to where now this is the expectation? Because I'm sure as a fan it looks like, oh, they got good baseball players and they're great, but it didn't happen overnight. How does that happen?
Culture doesn't come overnight. Culture takes years. Culture takes people like John, takes people like Izzy, takes people like, Chris Van Hook, Donovan Black, all those guys, Bryson Caldwell, those guys are all a part of it when I first started. Logan Rosenberger, like you just think about all those people ahead of these guys, right? They started to build the foundation of what it meant. And then each year we've got a little better and a little better and a little better, and we've got close. Yeah, we've got good players now, but good players come to Oak Ridge because of good baseball and good culture. And so we've got to work on it, right? Culture is not about the wins. Culture is about how you practice. Culture is about how you wear the right shirt to the field. It's about how you take care of the little things. It's about how you go to class. It's about all those, right? The expectation is to do things right. And I tell them all the time that everybody that's ever played for me is when you do things right day in and day out, the right things happen to you on the field. Like Cy had a really hard day. This is our culture, right? Here it is. This is the coolest thing that happened today. Cy told me yesterday, and he may get in trouble for this, but he decided he was going to skip fourth period. Senior last day of school, he was going to skip fourth. Well, he went 0 for 3 last night and had 2 strikeouts. Played a terrible game. He felt bad about himself. He said, Coach, you always told me if I do things right, the game will reward you at the end. Today I'm the first one here ready to go. Guess what? He gets a big knock. And so the game rewards people to do it right. So that's just part of it, and that's where we kind of build our culture. Do that, and then the other things kind of start taking care of themselves. And this community in Oak Ridge, man, they love to win. So it's what we do. I mean, just think about it. For this whole year, calendar year of Oak Ridge sports, is this not one of the greatest runs that you've ever seen in program history? Baseball, football, basketball, girls basketball, all making state tournament runs, which is pretty remarkable.
Absolutely, Coach Free. I'll let you go celebrate. I know you're itching to do that. I appreciate you giving us some time. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. I'm excited about the opportunity, and once again, guess what? We get to host again, closing out the end of the week. So, roll Wildcats, roll.
Roll Wildcats, roll, and come on down to Bobby Hopkins Park. John Ulrich, come down here real quick. We'll get you your final thoughts. You're the baseball mind behind this broadcast. I thank you for giving your insight and being nice when I say something relatively unintelligent on the air, which happens pretty frequently. John, your final thoughts on seeing a program that he mentioned you as a part of one of these guys that helped build the culture, seeing that rewarded, knowing that, hey, you were a part of what just happened. Tell me what this weekend has meant to you.
I mean, back in my senior year, it's pretty wide known. We set the school record with 28 wins, and to see these guys come out here day in and day out and beat that record again. I think they're 32-7 on the year. They've been putting in the work, and I mean, it's shown. And this is super nice to watch them just be successful. Even though we set a really cool record, it's even cooler to see them come back the next year and break it. It gives you this great feeling that, hey, I helped build something bigger than myself, and that's what Coach Free is his whole time here coaching. That's what he's spent. That's what he's been working towards. Everything that these guys work for day in and day out is just, it's bigger than themselves, and I believe that's why they're having so much success, so much sustained success down the stretch here.
Thank you very much, John. I'm not sure if you'll be around for the next few games. We'll have to see. I know you've got to work. Being an adult, as David Clary would say, being an adult stinks sometimes because you have responsibilities. But you have a responsibility as an Oak Ridge fan. I'm going to put the onus on you to be here at Bobby Hopkins Park whenever we get the opponent and the times and all that stuff down for the next set of games. I was checking my phone, make sure David Clary didn't have anything else to say. He's our executive producer. He was our sponsor, so thank you, David, for allowing us to get on here and allowing us to broadcast. I think we had over 400 views already, and that number will continue to climb. So thank you for watching. If you can't make it out, we will be streaming at least the first and second game. Still looking for a sponsor for that third, but hopefully you'll be able to see you out here at Bobby Hopkins Park this coming week. Until then, for John Ulrich, for David Clary, everybody else involved, thank you so much for watching. Go Wildcats, roll, and let's get to state.